My name is Don Mears. I am the director of a production company called Dojo Media. I'm on my way to spend 4 days with an Australian ufologist by the name of Damien Knott, who claims to have captured over 2,000 photographs and video of unidentified flying objects and paranormal phenomena. The first goal of this film is to see if we can start to understand what is happening to Damien and other people like him. Secondly, I want to try and work out what these objects are that he is seeing. And lastly, I want to see one of these objects up close and personal for myself. This is Australian Skies.
Hi guys, how you going? My name is Don Mears. I'm the director of Dojo Media, and welcome to the opening shots of Australian Skies. I'm actually here now waiting for Damien Knott to arrive at a Queensland train station. We had originally planned to shoot this film in New South Wales, however our location down there fell through. Fortunately for us though, we were offered a Queensland location by the name of Fig Tree Valley, which had been attributed with a whole lot of high strangeness, and we thought, you know what, let's go for it. Let's have a bit of a road trip, bring Damien out of his comfort zone to the beautiful Queensland area, surrounded by the Glasshouse Mountains and Bribie Island. So we've got all the crew here. Unfortunately though, Damien doesn't like to fly, so he opted for the train, which means that for the last 14 and a half hours, he's been travelling from New South Wales to Queensland, which I imagine in itself is going to be quite an adventure. Yep, there he is. Okay, here he comes. Hey Damien, how are you?
Howdy. Very well, thanks.
How is your train trip?
You know how I don't like aeroplanes?
Yes.
I love them now.
Welcome to Queensland.
Cheers, mate.
I have no explanation whatsoever for the amount of craft that I actually see or that I've seen over the years. I really don't know why I see the amount that I see. All I know is over the last 2 years I've seen literally hundreds. Everything started ramping up 2 years ago. I moved to a place called Dunedoo in the Central West Tablelands of New South Wales, Australia. My father had previously moved up there, and I moved up there to renovate a home, and pretty much from the second night I was there, I started witnessing the strangest phenomena.
Oh, here he comes over here. He's over here. There he is.
Wow.
See him?
Yep.
That's got to be him.
Look at that. Amazing.
You got him.
Yep, got him. It's blinking for me. The dogs are going bonkers all around this area. Look at it moving. That is amazing. Wow.
These objects would come into a country town, I mean, where there was a population of 500 people, and everybody in town is, you know, has the doors shut, 6 p.m. at night, there's no lights in the town, so it's a very isolated kind of place, and these objects would rock up out of the blue and range in size from probably a tennis ball to a basketball, up to a car, up to a ship, like a naval frigate. I was witnessing all types of activity in the air, objects high up, changing direction, left-hand turns, taking off at high speeds, big spheres of light the size of homes, illuminating roof tiles as they moved across, right down to solid balls of light, which, scientists could call plasma or earth lights or whatever the case may be. I really don't have an explanation for them. All I know is what I've seen over the years, and I know the reality of what I've seen because there's been hundreds of people that have witnessed it now with me, and they're stumped as well. They have no idea why it's happening.
Yeah, that's why I came out here.
Are you more with footage or you actually take still?
Oh my God.
That's moving.
When we had a really amazing sighting and Damien had a feeling, went outside and started to film. And then he called me out and I looked up in the sky and saw very shiny light that was moving very, very slowly.
Explain that as an aeroplane, guys.
That's not an aeroplane, it's not moving.
It's so slow. If it was a plane, it'd fall out of the sky. You should see what it's doing now.
It's floating, it's not a plane. And it's illuminating without any sort of rippling.
My dad's friend Cherie was here and we called Cherie out and she came out as well. And we were just watching this object. And for me, what was pretty awesome about it was when I saw something drop out of the object.
Oh my God. Something just flew by it too.
Look, something's falling out of it. Can you see it?
Yep.
Something's coming down. Can you see that, Cherie? Something's coming down here. Can you move over here? It seems to be like flashing, like not flashing like rhythmically, just trying to like illuminating.
It's actually morphing shape and rotating as well.
Do planes not see this or pick this up on the road?
Planes see them all the time, but they're told to keep it to.
I know that there are many people that have seen this phenomenon around Damien, especially in Dunedoo. His friends, his family, his father, myself. Yeah, there's a lot of people can attest to seeing it.
I have to say I've never seen anything like that before. Do you feel they draw to you?
Yeah. They're with me wherever I go.
I was just going to say, does it matter where you go?
No.
2 years ago in January, we received an email from Damien Knott, who was reporting seeing some amazing UFOs and filming them in the Dunedoo area. Because of the nature of the email, because of the sincerity of Damien, and because of the number of UFOs he was seeing, I decided to take the drive to Dunedoo to explore for myself and to meet him in person.
Look at him go. Actually moving quite slow, but at the same time he's keeping a steady pace. I should go get my tripod. I don't think he'll be gone anyway.
I booked into a B&B in the town, and unbeknown to me, there was a Sydney Morning Herald journalist booking into the same B&B to cover the story of the Coonabarabran fires at the time. And my B&B landlady told him, there's this UFO lady from Sydney, you may want to meet her. And his ears pricked up and he made contact with me and subsequently with Damien. And we discussed whether Damien would like to be interviewed by him, and Damien thought it was a good idea and the timing was right.
Just about out of the screen again. Okay. Fix it up again. Look at it. Oh, did you see that? It just moved to the left so quick. Thank you for showing me this.
The journalist and his associate did a night watch with Damien and saw quite a number of UFOs, as did I. And it was probably my first proper UFO sighting.
I've had multitudes of people witness them around me, whereas other people who've come up didn't see a thing. So there seems to be a thing where certain people, if they're open-minded enough, will see them. The more you see, the more you continue to see. And that's the way I've found it, and many other people who do see them on a regular basis have found it as well.
Come back.
Where is it there? Oh wow, that's mental. You can still see it?
Just keep it on maximum focus.
There it is. Wow.
About 2 years ago, I read in the Sydney Morning Herald about Damien and Dunedoo, and I thought it was a hotspot. So I have an interest in this subject. I have a commercial pilot's licence, and my wife and I, we drove out to Dunedoo and for a weekend, and we ended up meeting with Damien and having a night watch in his backyard where we saw a variety of phenomena.
Slowly spinning around. Oh, wow. Look at the actual shape of it. It seems to be twisting around. It's definitely a craft, man. Oh my God, mate. Can you see that, what it's doing?
Oh, I wish I had the zoom.
Are you picking up the...
Look at the colour.
Yeah, that is amazing, mate.
I do recall that night very specifically. The night was very clear, and I could see all sorts of aircraft flying through the sky. As a matter of fact, I pointed them out to Damien. The other phenomena we saw, they were certainly not aircraft.
Well, to date, over the last few years, I've probably had around about 300, 350 sightings all up my whole life. The type of craft that I see is such a variety. It's incredible. All different types of craft, from what you see Hollywood flying saucers to be like, right down to solid balls of light, which scientists could call plasma, or earth lights. These kind of craft, you'd think it would be impossible for what we know as a humanoid being to travel inside. So I believe that some of them are some sort of energy in themselves, or a being of light themselves.
I lined it up with a tree and it's just slowly drifting.
Sorry.
It's slower than the cloud speed.
I can still see it.
It's about to go behind into the cloud. See the strange way it's moving as well?
The first object I saw when I was 9 was a red sphere. I've seen this time and time again during my life. I've had them follow me down the road. I've had them follow me on my skateboard when I was a kid. I've had them hover above my head, literally 10 feet above me, just perfectly silent. The size of a basketball, nothing bigger. I really don't know what they are. I've seen them my whole life, probably at least 9 or 10 times, the red spheres. I've seen the white spheres literally tens of dozens of times. On a couple of occasions in Dunedoo, I've concentrated and thought about them when they've been moving across the sky, and then all of a sudden they'll start zigzagging or stop, or they'll come down lower, or almost like they're hearing my thoughts. It's almost like an extrasensory perception or a psychic ability that they have to read minds, and that plays into they're not just some sort of benign earth light or something that's plasma in the air which dissipates and something from earthquakes or whatever. This is something very strange. I believe it's inherent to this earth, and it's been here for a long, long time, probably before humans.
Calling it a light doesn't seem right either. It seems like something more than a light, as though it's alive. It's just incredible. It has some kind of aliveness to it, beingness to it. the way that they moved as well.
As far as I know, they've been labelling us photographic contactees, the guys that sense or feel the objects are around in enough time to go outside and, you know, film the object hanging above the house or, you know, going past the home or whatever the case may be. And, you know, I'm not going to claim that I'm in contact with extraterrestrials and that they're talking to me, telling me stuff about the world, but I do know that they do appear above me out of nowhere when I've thought about them. And I can't explain any other reason why that would happen apart from there is some sort of link between the objects and myself.
That sensitivity I've also had reported from other people who get a feeling to go outside, get drawn outside, and then they're able to film these UFOs. So there is obviously a desire from the UFO pilots, or whoever they might be, the intelligence, to want to be seen.
They're coming towards us.
Straight over us. Is that a star? Oh, it's moving now.
It's right above our car. I can see it from my window.
I came in contact with Damien through the internet. I was starting to see a few things in the sky and I needed some, I guess you could say, help to try and, I thought he could answer some questions for me because I had no answers for what I was seeing. My children were a bit skeptical, but now they sort of understand. And my wife thought it was great that I had a hobby to start with instead of just working. And then she soon realised that it was more than a hobby because she's been with me on several occasions and in clear sight seeing what I'm seeing.
Mystery.
Yeah. Son of a gun, Donna, this is absolute gold.
Actually, there's more.
Oh my God, we've got it.
When I get the feelings to go outside, I'd actually look up and sometimes not see a thing at all, but I'd take a camera with me and I'd film something, I'd capture something strange that I didn't see with the naked eye. Other times I'd see something and capture it. It's a hard feeling to describe. It's more like an autopilot, a mixture of someone's watching you from behind, mixed with a feeling that someone's in the room with you that you can't see. It's a very unusual kind of feeling, but it's almost like a knowing that something strange is going on.
The feeling, look, for me, it happens in the middle of the night. I'll wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning for a couple of days in a row, and I know something's going to happen. They sort of, I don't know when I say they, whatever, I just sort of get woken up really early in the morning and I wake up going, okay, I'll see one today. And sure enough, I will see something during the day. I'm going to get you this time, you little rotter. There he goes. Got you.
I think this one's the first one.
Yeah, that's the first one.
It's the first one that's moved.
It was. So.
There he goes. He's going in behind the clouds now, or a cloud. Shit, it's bright and it's big. That's cool.
I can't see it anymore now.
Oh, I'm getting some awesome footage here.
My eyes are making
yeah.
in the sky.
No, they don't mind being filmed. I will basically, if I'm driving in the car, it can happen anywhere, but I'll just have them in front of me. They'll show up dead in front of me up in the sky. So I stop the car, get out, film them, and then they leave. And then I get in the car and carry on with my normal life.
Look at this. Just sailing over Cayman. It's full zoom, unfortunately. I can't get any closer to it. Jeepers. Look at that. Where are you? Where is it gone? Freaking lost it.
Some of the things that I've seen would make most people think that they're crazy, you know. It's only because I've seen them time and time again I know that I'm not crazy, and this is why I started buying cameras, so I could film what I'm seeing, so I could show people what I'm seeing. So the point was that, you know, if I'm crazy, my camera's crazy. There is an extreme sense of isolation that comes with seeing these things because you feel like you can't talk to people, you feel like that you're alone, that you're, you know, different, the whole kit. It does shape your life completely, and especially when, you know, the academics of this world say that there's no such thing. You know, that makes it hard for people who do experience this. Not just hard, but it changes your life so much, it changes your attitude towards other people. You know, you don't trust people as much. You're more guarded. It's hard to keep a relationship, you know, and keep this secret. It's, you know, most people freak out, like friends or partners or whatever, when they see these things. You know, it's very rare that someone around you will go, oh, you know, that's just awesome or whatever, because most people will follow the crowd, and most of the crowd believes that, you know, what they're told. And as humans, you know, we tend to believe what we're told because that's the reality. You're taught in school what's real, what's not real, whatever the case may be. These things don't exist, apparently, but they do. I've purposely gone out and filmed 2 drones that I knew were drones. They make noise. Anything that humans create makes a sound. It has an engine, has rotors, it makes noise, and they're quite loud. What we see in the sky are definitely not drones. But when you've done the research and when you've done the field work, you can easily tell the difference between a drone and something that's quite unusual and unknown.
Guys, I'm here with Tony, who is our drone pilot that we always use for our productions, and I just want to ask you, Tony, a couple of questions about the use of UAVs and drones today. What sort of height can you get on these things, regardless of rules?
Oh, they can get up, you know, around 1,000 feet.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah,
that is amazing.
What's technology?
What's the level for commercial flight? How legally are you supposed to keep these things below? What ceiling height is that? 400
feet is the height that we can go to. There are other regulations in if you're close to airports and that sort of thing as well. But legally and commercially 400 feet unless you've got approval to do otherwise. CASA put them in place in 2002 actually, one of the first countries in the world to do that. They saw that it could integrate well within the commercial arena here.
Are there any that are silent?
Not that I'm aware of, no. They all, they have a propeller and motors turning, so no, none that are silent.
Obviously, we're making a documentary about sightings, missed sightings as well, UFOs and whatnot. You can understand, though, that some of these things you can see could be definitely mistaken for being a UFO if you didn't have that noise factor, though, because they do have lights on them and the whole thing, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're quite, when you see them, they're quite unreal, aren't they? When
Yeah, it's quite amazing seeing them up there, and particularly if they're a little distance away and that sort of thing, it might be hard to, particularly the smaller ones, to identify exactly what they are. And they can sort of move around and, without too much, noise and that sort of thing.
Direction from them. We'll just see if we've got our shots. Last run.
Even through infrared, it's still very identifiable as a drone. Whoa!
You bet.
What the hell? Something just like flew straight down to the ground right past the drone. Very fast moving object.
There's no birds up there. I'm looking, whilst filming you, I'm looking up there. There's no birds. You can see it by the naked eye anyway. Earlier, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we were hearing birds and crows. There's not one bird now.
No, they've gone.
And you were saying the dogs were going off in the distance.
As soon as we got radio that you guys were seeing activity, the dogs behind us started going crazy, so...
That's a really good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay guys, I'm just doing a quick thread of camera here. We're in the middle of our drone day or UAV day, and we've just been doing takeoffs and filming a lot of establishing shots. We've got Damien down there now, and he's just notified through that, yeah, he's seeing things down there, and the dogs went absolutely bananas in this area just then as well. So we're going to take the UAV up and see if we can actually use one of these things as bait. So here we go.
Red.
A lot of stuff that's on YouTube is not real. A lot of people fake footage. A lot of people will send a little toy drone with lights up there just to try and fool people. They fly in a way that is quite mechanical, man-made. You can tell the difference. They make sounds. I've spent thousands of hours literally in the field replicating what they call orbs, replicating insects, from photographing things through a pane of glass, doing all sorts of things trying to replicate anything that could be misconstrued as a UFO. But when you've done the research and when you've done the field work, you can easily tell the difference between a drone and something that's quite unusual and unknown.
Okay, it's up here. In the blue patch. Coming into the blue patch.
Something went. Thought I just saw something sort of just pop in behind that cloud there.
So where that big tree is?
Yep.
To the right. I see him now, yeah.
Like just darted sort of in behind a cloud. But and it's like it was hiding, so it did go in behind a cloud.
Guys, okay, we're actually, allegedly there's something going on here. We've got something that's following the drone, so our drone pilot's trying to work out what's going on as well. Got a camera crew down there who's with Damien, who's spotting with a camera. We're just going to see what happens. It's definitely, it's going to be interesting.
I personally don't know that I've been pranked, though I would be able to pick it out quite easy. Though I film many balloons up in the sky and they're quite easily identifiable as balloons. They're governed by, the laws of our physics, so they move in a certain way. What I know and what I've seen do not move in the way that a balloon or any sort of, man-made device would move or operate.
So that's the drone in the centre of my screen. Let's see if there's any sparks or flashes around it.
Any direction.
There is a really good possibility that some of them may be top secret drones. We've got no way of proving otherwise unless one crashes and we pick it up. We don't know what the military industrial complex has. But when you look at it logically, why would a government fly a top secret drone over an area, over a city where it can be witnessed by thousands of people and have the possibility of it falling out of the sky and getting captured by Joe Blow, when they've got thousands of acres and kilometres worth of desert in Australia alone to fly these things where they'll never ever be seen. So the idea that, you know, some of them could be drones, it is a possibility, but a very, very small one.
As we were saying, the birds are back. We were down there for how long? The birds stopped. Now the birds are back. Because we've packed everything away, we've packed the drone away, we've packed our gear away. Maybe they've gone away, don't know, but
everything's back to normal.
Incredible. Some more high strangeness.
Yep.
One thing I have noticed is within 10 to 20 minutes after a UFO sighting, a helicopter will rock up, and that's happened time and time again. They do seem to be attracted to our aircraft, whether that be helicopters or aeroplanes. They do seem to follow them quite a fair bit. Whatever reason that is, you know, it's still speculation.
Whenever I have a really good major sighting, like, you know, a jaw-dropping sort of craft, and, you know, it hangs around for a while, you can be guaranteed within an hour someone else is coming to check where it happened and check where I am and keep an eye on me, and it's generally just unmarked government cars or helicopters.
He's coming back again. Black, is that military?
Is he black?
He's got a camera on the bottom of him. Right over the top. Hey fella, you just missed a UFO, mate.
We are also getting reports that seem like human contact, human interference. We've had the black helicopters flying over numerous homes. I can think of quite a number of cases. There have been people reporting seeing someone leaning out with a camera from the black helicopter, filming them. So these have been captured on film by some of these people. So there is something else going on.
They bring their helicopters in, they'll hover over your house and basically wake you up in the middle of the night, or just during the day sit there and hover a helicopter, you know, 50 feet above your roof, stare out at you, and they're just letting you know that they're watching.
We had jets coming in Dunedoo side by side during the daytime and nighttime after UFOs would be in the area. Other times I've had police helicopters hovering above the house for 45 minutes, and I've actually filmed UFOs flying around the helicopters. Small metallic spheres, small white spheres following the helicopters. This has happened time and time again.
He's definitely looking for something, mate. You missed the UFO by about 2 minutes. Yep, let's just go to the back. I saw something too. Something fly by. I just caught something near this aeroplane over here.
You know, after I came out about the UFO sightings to the Sun Herald, the following day I had 2 people rock up into Dunedoo, and basically in uniforms in a hire car staring at me while I'm painting the house and writing on something and then taking off when I tried to get close to the car. And it was very, very peculiar. The lady who was staring at me while the driver was staring straight ahead, they were both wearing black suits, and I just thought, this is too unreal to be true. You know, you hear all the stories, the men in black, all that sort of thing, you think, no, it's human imagination, whatever, you know, we like to, you know, blow things up a bit, whatever. But no, I've had multitudes of things happen. I had my Facebook page hacked, I've had my YouTube channel hacked, my hard drives disappear from my home, I've had my computer hacked and files disappear from my computer. Most of my original files from Dunedoo just disappeared. Air Force people telling you that you've been watched for years. You know, strange sounds, beeping sounds on the telephone when I'm talking to certain people involved in the UFO field. You know, a lot of people would say, oh, you know, it's paranoia. But when you have one thing after another, you don't know who to believe. But when it all comes into a big package, it paints a picture that something is going on.
Black cars, yes, stereotype, but yes, always black. Holden Statesmans, brand new. Look like they should be in the showroom, usually in twos. They'll come and sit outside your house. So that does happen. The government pays particular interest into what's going on.
I did get a report possibly about 2 or 3 months ago from a fellow who said he was driving along in his car and another vehicle forced him off the road, and 2 gentlemen, neatly attired, came to him at his car door and said to him, "Are you so-and-so?" And he said yes, and they said, "Well, you need to stop talking or else."
So I've done one presentation for her and it went really well. She asked me to do another one last year and I was getting pretty close to doing it. But once again, the government interest stepped in and told me I was stopped while I was driving my car by these 2 guys, and they told me not to do it. They said, "You don't want to talk about it." So I said, "I don't want to talk about it."
We're live.
We're live.
Here we go. Good work. The mission.
There has been tales, not this early at night, but way later at night, like early in the morning. The truckies have actually said they've seen lights, like min kind of lights on this highway.
Orange ones?
Yeah, orange, white light.
White spears, yeah.
White lights, yeah.
Okay.
Emo, I don't know.
You talk about what size were the reports? Like how big size of basketball?
Softball.
Okay.
Quite small. Tennis, softball, cricket ball size.
Sure.
Come up to the window of the truck cabs, fly through the cabs. Yeah, so then that has been sighted out here. Not a lot of truckies will talk about it. But never this early at night. But I mean, hey, if you're saying that you're attracting things,
yeah,
they might know you're here.
I see them at all different times, man. All times. It kind of freaks people out, you know.
It takes a lot to freak me and Don out. But,
that's cool.
Okay guys, we've just come up to a lookout in the Glasshouse Mountains, and I'm here with Damien and Richard, and we're going to do first of the sky watchers to have a bit of a look around and see what we can get. What do you think so far?
I think it's a great spot.
It is a 360-degree view pretty much of the entire area, and we just this is probably the highest point, Rich, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just let you rig up your gear and then we'll see how you go.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Just gonna try something.
Camera on this.
Just as we were setting up, we've just noticed a light in the sky that appears to be changing shape and direction. We're just trying to decide. It seems to be fading out now.
Guys, it's an aeroplane, Hong Kong to Brisbane.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Debunked, courtesy of technology.
Thank you, technology. It's an Airbus A330. Well, when they're heading at you at a certain angle and they've got the front lights on, you know, they can like block out the aircraft lights in the wings.
Yeah, they look exactly like just a ball of light.
And see now, you can see the flashing off the wing. We're very lucky nowadays to have apps for the phone, and the apps such as Flight Radar, Satellite Safari and Sky Safari tell you what are in the sky, where they're headed, whether it's a plane, a satellite or whatnot, whether the trajectory is coming straight over you or not. We're very lucky to have these today to capture and film the UFOs and work out what they are, what they could be and what they're definitely not. We really need someone for like a few of us to sit around doing the sky watching and someone to sit here working this out all the time.
We might do that tomorrow night then.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that actually sit up in the sky and pretend to be stars, and they're actually known as pseudo-stars. They're not real stars. They'll disappear at a whim. Okay.
The go is there. There we go.
This is the director of the film, who's currently laying in a car park, huddled up in seat covers off his car. Are you cold, Don?
No, I just like to dress
in seat covers.
It's lovely. It was a little cold, and we stupidly forgot to bring jumpers just because today was, you know, exceptionally hot. And you got to get creative out here, you know. You got to get creative.
What do you think of the location so far?
I'm loving it, and I'm getting my normal strange feeling, and yeah, so it's really good.
Right next to that bright star just there, there's 3 stars you can't see with your eyes, and they just become one. Alright, so a bright star, leftward and slightly up, you'll see a perfect pyramid of lights that are moving.
So what have we got up there? What have you seen?
There's just the most faintest blue light that seems to be pulsing really offbeat directly above us, and Damien's just confirmed it's not a satellite. But whatever it is, if it is something, it's staying far enough away from us where we can't get a good glimpse of it, but it's still making itself present.
Can you have a look through here at the actual object? See how the blue light's flashing? There's a button right at the very front there.
Yep.
Hit it again, it'll start recording when you get it.
Have a look near that bright star where we just were looking.
Yeah.
And see if you can, they might be back.
What the was that?
Just keep filming on that.
What the hell was that? Did you just hear that?
Yeah, something just smashed the bin. The bin is completely empty. Look, in the camera.
Something hit that bin hard. Like it almost made that bin move. I heard it.
We heard it.
Yeah,
we're all here.
Yeah,
Just kick the bin, like with your foot.
No.
Wasn't that sound?
No,
that's solid.
Well,
almost to distract their attention.
this is the area of high strangeness. We have brought Damien not here as well to add to the equation. I think things are going to get very weird. Okay guys, something a bit different today. We're going to be doing some kayaking and some canoeing because we want to get to a Skywatch location tonight. One of the best ways to get there is via the waterways. And I just thought it'd be kind of cool to bring Damien along and let him have a look at some of these locations because they're just beautiful. They're really eerie and this waterway is just, it's a really stunning sort of location. So hopefully it's going to be interesting.
Alright, I try not to rock it too much. Alright.
And if you sink, just grab the cameras.
Yeah, I'll save them, don't worry.
Oh.
Pull around the right way. Yep, there you go.
Hey, look at this water. This is a freak. How it
This is just creepy.
This is something like Lord of the Rings, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's
Gollum's over there going, my precious. Hey, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is excellent. I had to bring my shitty camera, man. I don't care.
No, I'm with you. Go for it. You
but-
bring the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I needed to.
That's fine. It's fine.
In case UFO hovers.
You know what?
We won't be able to.
Chances are, it probably will.
Okay, so this area that we're heading to, I've never actually been up here. And there's a lot of places around Australia that are, you know, nice little hidden secrets that locals know about. Can you tell me a little bit about this area?
This kind of river kind of runs. You can actually get all the way to Mount Mead, where we were last night.
No way, that's incredible.
And it's just an amazing sort of waterway.
It's like an ancient prehistoric place, eh? Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's old. It feels old.
Almost looks like you can walk on the water, actually, in some spots, you know.
Now, you were talking before about how people in ufology have a Jesus complex. I don't want to see you try and test your theory if you can walk on water. I don't mind if you do, but just not when I'm in the kayak.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, give me, in Australia, give me the top 5 briefly hot spots that you'd like to go visit if you could, if the budget wasn't a concern.
Okay, straight off the bat, I'd say I'd love to go up to Pine Gap.
Yep.
I'd love to see, you know, what they're flying around there at night time. You know, if they are working on craft or whatever the case. As we know, it's Australia's Area 51. Yeah, Pine Gap would be one place. I'd love to go back to Dunedoo again. That's a major hot spot. The road between Coonabarabran and Dunedoo it's become known as the extraterrestrial highway. Another place, the Nullarbor Plains.
Yeah.
Very interesting. You know, a lot of truckers have seen UFOs there, early hours of the morning. Min lights, you name it, the place has you know, got a rich history of UFO sightings going back quite a while, even back to the Aboriginals.
What else?
Definitely around Ayers Rock.
Really?
Oh yeah, south of Ayers Rock.
Is there many reports? I mean, I don't want to hear them specifically, but are there reports at Ayers Rock?
There's quite a few. There was a tour group that went there years ago that spotted a UFO hanging in the sky, a large red ball, and then it just took off south at high speeds, right in front of an entire tour group. And yeah, so they've been seen there for quite a while. The Aboriginals, in their legends, speak about lights, you know, in the area around there.
What's your last one?
Okay, I have to say the Simpson Desert.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd love to go down to Simpson Desert, camp there for a few days and see what we see. I know a lot of rural and deserted areas like that. They tend to hang around a lot because there's a lot less people, a lot less chance of being seen. If that's what they're, you know, they're worried about being seen by people all the time. You know, areas like this, rural areas, they seem to congregate around. So you said we're going to a bit of a hot spot, or?
Yeah, I have to be careful, you know. We've got permission to go to the location, but again, there's a community around it that don't want to have it highlighted, and the only way you can get in there is really through locals, and luckily we have connections in the area to get us in there. Yeah, it is a bit of a weird spot, you know, and Rich, who's in the production, he's actually the one who's setting a lot of this stuff up. He's actually going to give us some stories tonight at the site about what's happened around there, and there's been some very serious things happen, but they really don't want anything drawn up about it, so we have to just keep it very vague about it. But yeah, nonetheless, there's been a lot of weird things happen there, allegedly. This whole area up here, very well known or locally as being a Yowie hotspot.
Interesting. There is also the connection between Yowies and UFOs.
What is it? Look, a lot of UFO people hate that connection, and I know a lot of Yowie kind of crypto guys hate that connection as well. What's your stance on it?
Well, the more I've researched into it over the years, I find, there is some sort of connection, there is a correlation between where big feet are sighted and UFOs. I've never actually seen a Bigfoot myself, so I really can't talk about that as much, but I know that there is a correlation. A lot of people have picked up the correlation between areas of high activity of UFOs and big feet.
There's a town just up from Caboolture actually, that they have a park there called Yowie Park.
Okay.
And
wow.
They have like a 10-foot statue of a Yowie there.
Yeah. Incredible.
Based on sightings that they've had since 1970s and anything like that.
Wow, wow.
Now you've got to fly over. Helicopters.
No way, where? Helicopter. They're not normally around here, or? Right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you get a shot?
No, too many trees. I just saw it go through the really slow. It's coming up over us. Joking.
Wow, it's really close.
There he is. Right there. They're probably tracking my little chip. And they're like, where is he? I can't see him.
Tonight I want to talk about the chip.
Okay.
And Beck wants to have a feel of the chip. Is that all right?
All right. No one's ever felt my chip before.
Well, you're about to have your chip virginity broken.
My first. Okay. Classic.
Okay, can you see up ahead here? Can you see up in front? That's where we're going to be getting out, and that's where we're going to go on foot, and just up there is going to be our location for the night.
Brilliant.
So, we've done it. Done. Oh, I forgot my keys.
Myself a no car made in 65. Got a pocket full of bills, a suitcase of cash. Bought myself a no car made in 65.
Rich, thanks for getting us into Fig Tree Valley. You're our fixer on Australian Skies. You've been helping us with the local locations, and in particular, you've been very helpful in getting us into Fig Tree Valley, which locally has a bit of a reputation for being an area of high strangeness. It's an old area. What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, look, it's you're spot on. It's an old area. It's a close-knit community as well. One road in, one road out. Everyone here knows everyone. There has been a history of strange happenings in the area, from UFOs to Yowies. Yowies, bit of left of field subject, but there was talk of cows going missing, livestock being killed and damage to fencing and stuff. UFOs have been very apparent around here for years now. We've had local farmers that have reported having crafts land in their crops. They've had trouble growing things there ever since. Those particular farmers don't really want to, they're not very inviting into the field of having people come in and talk about that with them, because these guys have been running businesses for 100 years. They don't want to associate themselves with that sort of thing. It can really damage a 100-year reputation. I personally was lucky enough, and one of the few that's happy to talk about it. I was personally lucky enough to capture footage of what I believe to be some sort of craft going across the sky one day after work. Whipped my phone out, started recording, 23 seconds of footage. Phone ran out of memory, but that 23 seconds was a real mind blower for me, because I'm not an avid UFO believer. I don't follow the subject of UFO sightings at all, and it really caught me off guard as a fence sitter.
When you contacted me after you got the footage, and you actually said that you had some strange things happen almost directly after.
Yeah, look, I'll wrap that up quite briefly, in the sense that everyone in Fig Tree Valley knows everyone. We all know what the cars we drive are, and when you start seeing strange white and blue silver vans pull up in the road, that was one of the things that was happening, and it was a bit of an eyebrow raiser around town, because, as I expressed earlier, we're one street in, one street out community, and vans aren't something that park up in our road very often, or sit there for 2 hours. I kept a low profile. I didn't want to be associated with the vans, but I felt it was a coincidence that I caught this UFO sighting going across, and all of a sudden there's this sort of attention. Personally, I'm going to throw it in the coincidence area, but there's a lot of other people around the area that had all different speculations, so it was a very strange occurrence for me, personally.
By the way, I know that you want to have a bit of a chat to Damien about his experiences, and also to do with his implants and all that sort of stuff. So what we might do is we might set you up to actually do the questioning and that sort of stuff.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Cool. All right.
Don told me that you found evidence of some sort of microchip or something on your body, and that you got an ultrasound. What's the goss there?
Yeah, it's not something I talk about very often, but I don't really bring it up that much. But yeah, I do. I've had an object just underneath my collarbone since I was a kid. I never really knew what it was, why it was there. It's sort of like a small tube, and it wasn't until about 6 months ago where I actually went to a specialist and had a ultrasound done. And during the ultrasound, they found a small little object under my skin. And the funny thing was that while they were looking at the object actually moved further under the skin, to the point where the lady actually had to go and get another doctor to come in and look at it. So the both of them were looking at the object. They could feel it with their fingers under the skin. And I've noticed in the past that this object would move. When I'd grab it, you'd pinch it to the top of the skin underneath, and it would move back under itself. Very unusual.
So you told me that you discovered the chip when you were a kid. Was there some sort of test you got done when you were a child, or?
No, not at all. It's just something that I noticed because it was different on my body, something that I felt under my skin. I actually asked my mum about it when I was young. She didn't know what it was. It's a really strange object because when you have to pinch it to the top of the skin, it actually moves down by itself as soon as you release it. Okay. So it's hard for other people to feel it unless they actually get a good grip on it. But the doctor who came in after the other specialist lost it and saw it move on the actual machine. The doctor that came in, the same thing happened again in front of both of them, and he was astounded. He actually said, "What is that? You know, what happened then?" And it took him about a good 5 minutes to locate it again, but he felt it again, and so both of them felt it, and then the object moved, which is highly strange in itself. But I never thought much of it, you know, until, you know, a couple of years ago, really, when the UFO sightings really hit a high pitch for me. And then I always wanted to get the ultrasound done to find out maybe what is it, you know, what could it be, if it's something benign or something ordinary.
And they never gave you an affirmative, it's a chip, it's this, it's that. They just said it's a strange object.
No, they gave me a referral to actually get it removed, and I don't really want to get it removed in case it's something, you know, quite special that, you know, maybe it's a reason why I see so many UFOs. I really have no idea, but I mean, it's been in me since I was a kid. The body, you know, with a foreign elements introduced into the body, you know, such as a splinter or whatever, the body normally rejects it. This object, it hasn't been rejected. There's no entry wound. It's very unusual. So I really can't explain it.
I guess we'll find out the truth when the batteries run out.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Alright guys, we're just on our location, our night watch location, and we've just had dinner. We've had some questions and a bit of filming, and now we're just going to have a bit of a wander around tonight and see what we can see.
Yeah, we are entering wild dog territory, so yeah, let's just keep our ears peeled and let everyone know if you see something strange.
Cool. What the hell?
Whoa.
Because once something's walked on it and moved the G, you'll see an actual wet spot. Something's cut this tree out recently, it's sapping. Fresh. What do you make of that, Don?
Cow, right? We've just come out onto the hill that overlooks one of the areas around there where we're made home base for the night. And we were doing some interviews around the campfire when we were hearing, it sounded like someone yelling out. Someone could have been in trouble. And the thing is though that we were informed today that some of the locals had lost 3 horses in the area in the last couple of days due to wild dogs. So we thought we'd just come down to a safe vantage point and just see if there's anyone around or someone might be down here needed help or anything like that. Rich was talking before about one of the neighbouring properties, how
I just saw a flash right in front of that tree line there, at the base of the tree line, a little bit towards us.
It's exactly the same side, I just saw a flash before, that's why I lit it up.
I just saw the flash.
Where?
Over in the tree line where Rich and Damien have seen it. Hopefully that's not on camera because I was pointing towards it.
Sitting right above.
Whoa, did you just see that?
Yeah, there's another flash.
That was the whole sky just
There's
flashed.
another flash.
I just saw that out of the corner of my eye.
The whole sky just went poof, like a camera flash.
This is getting really weird, right?
There's no planes whatsoever ahead of us at the moment. The closest plane is at Gympie. And this is
Did you see the whole sky flash?
Yeah, I saw the flash as well.
It was over here, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see that? Light just shot across the sky. That light, that was massive brightness.
Whoa, it's come back. I can see it now in the binoculars.
Dude, are you recording this?
Yep.
Keep it going. It's very faint.
That was huge.
It's just vanished into thin air.
That was huge. That was right over Fig Tree Valley too.
And there's no airplane showing up either in that direction. Oh, it's come back big time.
It's red now. It was white.
Is it standing still now?
Yeah, it stopped. It stopped.
You're kidding me.
And it's red. I can still see through this thing. A bright as
Orange.
ball of light. It's like the size of a softball. And now it's gone. Just popped, vanished. No aeroplanes in the vicinity by the radar. There's one aeroplane which is on the other side, way, like it's past the glass house now.
Yeah,
Way
it's a
over.
long way away.
Like-
We've just done the satellite checks.
Okay. You still tracking it?
Yeah, it's gone behind the tree now.
That was a full-blown UFO. No other word for it. It couldn't be identified.
I hate to say it. That was really weird. All three of us were just talking, wrapping up the whole session, and this huge kind of light. We're not talking like a little fiddly thing. This was quite sizable.
That was huge.
Slowly drift over. Oh man.
Alright guys, I'm at the end of the film. I don't think I can go much further at this stage. So I think I'm going to let Damien do the final comments on the outro, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to give you my final debrief. I think it's fair to say that at the beginning of the film, I was fairly skeptical of Damien and his claims. I mean, I thought he was just seeing drones in the sky or something like that. However, at the end of the film, I find myself now more intrigued. I mean, whether this phenomena is psychological, physical, terrestrial, or even extraterrestrial, the point still remains that thousands of people across Australia, and the world for that matter, are experiencing this phenomena on a daily basis, and they deserve an explanation for what's going on. Unfortunately though, it's going to take someone far more credentialed than I to take a serious interest in this topic and study it for these guys to be able to get an explanation. It's been a fascinating project to work on, and everyone involved who opened up their doors to us has been fantastic to work with. So thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to meet again beneath the Australian skies.
Most people have sightings, keep them to themselves, and it's a sad thing because I've spoken to so many people around Australia and around the world who just want to tell somebody what they've seen. They don't want money, they don't want fame, recognition or anything. There's no fame to be made in this subject. There's infamy, there's threats, there's all sorts of intimidation. They just want to speak to somebody about. They can't go to the media, they can't tell their friends, they're worried about their kids at school being picked on. It runs through the whole of society, and we've got to accept that. And no matter what people say, all it takes is for somebody to stand up and go, hold on a second, this is real, and you're not going to tell me it's not real. And this is what I'm trying to do, convince normal people that there is a reality out there that is in the sky and it's above us, and we can go from there.
Don't turn around.
And I'm not worried about what people think anymore. I'm nearly 36 years old now, and I'm well over people's attitudes towards the subject. But the good thing is nowadays, people are actually opening up and warming to the subject more because more people around the world are having sightings all the time. It's estimated that a UFO is spotted every 3 minutes around the world. It's the biggest influx of UFO sightings in history. It's happening right now. And from what I've seen in the last 2 years alone, is incredible. And it's real.
I see him.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Everyone's still going. Why don't you stop too? Yep. There's another one over here drifting into this cloud. Yep.
Yeah, it's over there. It's back behind. I have to say I've never seen anything like that before.
Yep, it's actually on, it's under the cloud, it's on our side of the cloud now, it's getting closer, because, yeah, I believe it's on our side of the clouds. Wow, I just got another one flew across it. There's a lot going on up here today, guys. Holy smoke.